Hey, good to see you guys.
Good to see you
Good to
guys, man.
see you, man.
How are
Thanks
you
for doing
today?
this.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Just
Well,
We're hammering out some demos right
yeah.
now, which is pretty cool. Um, and just yeah, obviously in the middle of playing a bunch of shows and stuff like that. So thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate it. Love being
yeah,
here.
it's my pleasure, guys. Thank you. So, guys, a week back you put up your single "Bad Blood," an amazing song. So, can you tell me the songwriting and the production behind this single?
Well, the song was first given to me by Eric, who when I was in the process of joining the band,
Hmm.
and I used that to kind of write some kind of top line the vocals and lyrics on it, and then eventually um we made newer demos, and then we produced it and changed the song structure around to kind of um, fit the vocal and the overall
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. So Bad Blood was something that I wrote during 2020 actually when I was
Hmm.
looking for uh, you know, the new lineup of High Street, and so we made a bunch of demos together, and we were auditioning singers around this time, and you know, gave the music to Noxigen for the audition actually, and he basically wrote lyrics and a melody to it, and then that was we agreed that that was going to be one of the songs that we would release under the High Street name,
Yeah,
and that's obviously our second single. So we got a couple more coming out, and then the video for Bad Blood will be coming out on the 14th of October, which is in about a week. So
Hmm.
psyched.
sounds good. Sounds good. And talking about your other single, "Swallow Your Pride," it's also an amazing song. To be honest with you, so both the singles are totally amazing, but the songwriting is linked with the personal life. So is there something that you put behind this, the same concept?
Lyrically,
Yeah, I mean, lyrically, I draw a lot from personal experiences, and kind of story building is kind of very important for me. So I want to have like a little bit of a story for each song that I write. That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
Um, so whether it's a real story that's derived from my experience, or it's a story that I'm making up and telling, or it's somebody else's story, for me it's important that the characters and people that I'm representing in the lyric, their story is coming out to the best of its ability.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you guys are working on coming up with a new album. So how is the works happening, and when you're you expecting to bring that out?
so we're not coming out with an album. We're coming out with an EP. And an EP, we're gonna have four really solid songs on that. Again, two of them have already come
Yeah.
out: "Swallow Your Pride" and "Bad Blood." And then the next two will be coming out sometime in November. And so that'll be one more kind of hard rock bluesy tune, which
Yeah.
will be a little bit different from the first couple that we put out. And then the second one is going to be more of a ballad, like a power ballad, that we'll be putting out as well. So we're really psyched for that, and especially because we've been working so long on just really hammering down these songs and making them sound really good production wise. And so we're glad to finally be doing it. And there's no better time to do it, playing live and trying to build our audience here in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. So that right now, do you have any plans to get on a tour or something scheduled for you guys?
We are on a
we
tour.
are, we are.
We are on a
Yeah.
tour right now. It's not like your traditional run of the mill, like a show every other day kind of
Yeah.
tour, but it's more selective and scattered, and we want to make sure that we hit the right venues and kind of capture a wider audience.
Yeah.
So We are how many shows in? 5, 6
Yeah,
shows in.
about 5 shows. So we have I think 8 upcoming shows in total right now, and then we've played about 4 or 5 already since the new music came out.
Yeah.
So like Noxigen said, we're just kind of like really focusing on honing in our demographics with our audience and stuff like that. And so we're focusing in on those clubs, and just kind of like a Southwest club circuit kind of you know aim, so to speak. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. So the history of the band goes back way back 2000, and then suddenly something happened and everything stopped, and now you're back. So how do you feel to make music again and be back on the show?
yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, the band started back in '08, and then a lot of it just really built up, and then everyone was older than me, so they went off to school and pursued other things, and then I went on my own career, playing a lot of jazz and stuff like that, and then came back to wanting to get the band back together, but with a new lineup because I'm now living in LA. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great to kind of bring back the memories, but it's also been good to sort of just find new guys to collaborate with, and it doesn't really feel like the old band anymore, which is good. It's just kind of a completely new, different thing. But High Street, I guess it's part of the High Street legacy, just all the things that we've done in the past are still there, and it's just kind of this is the more updated, obviously current lineup, and we're psyched to be doing everything that we're doing. So especially during COVID, so we're lucky to be playing live at all, which has just been a lot of fun. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. And any particular reason for you coming from Chicago to LA?
what's that?
Any particular reason for you to move from Chicago to LA?
Yeah, the main reason was I wanted to be obviously in the entertainment industry like so many other people, and so LA is really the place to do that, whether it's performing live, TV and film and that kind of stuff. LA is really the best place to continue a musical career. Not to say that other cities aren't great too, but Chicago is really good. There's just not a whole lot of diversity there. So LA's been great in terms of just playing live, getting the band together, and also, you know, our main mission as a band is to really just kind of bring rock and roll back in the mainstream,
Yeah.
because we know there's so many different genres out there nowadays, and rock music isn't like something that's like number 1 on the charts, of course, and but we do draw a lot of inspiration from other current rock bands, and we're just playing music to what we like to play, and hope that other people like it, and that's the best you can do. So
Amazing, amazing. This is a time where rock music is sounding more like pop music, but you guys are bringing back the real hard rock of the 80s with the bluesy thing and all the stuff. So it's totally amazing for people like us who has been in the 80s and enjoy the music of the 80s. So it's really a pleasure to listen to you guys. So it's totally amazing. So how as a band do you feel about the music you may create and about the outcome?
Um, yeah, it's a lot of it's a seamless process in terms of how we like to work together and rehearse together. I think most of us do our part as individual band members, and we we kind of pick and choose and decide on song choices, song forms. Like I'll run by lyrics and melodies to Eric, and he'll run by riffs by me. So it's kind of like a very seamless collaborative effort from all 4 of us, really, to kind of um, put together a show or a song or an EP or an album or whatever.
yeah, and we like, I think Noxigen and I are obviously like the main songwriters for the band. The other guys they contribute sort of their parts a little bit, but they're kind of like the guys that kind of just show up and play their instrument, which is great. But I think Noxigen and I really take, since we're the front guys, we kind of take more initiative to create the material. Like I said, I've written almost all the music, and then obviously Noxigen has written almost all the lyrics as well. So it's just really between us, and since we're but the other guys are great, and it's just it's awesome to have a full band, committed band, and just people who want to be a part of something that isn't too typical nowadays, and to come across musicians who gel together and who like to play together and just vibe together is the most important thing, and that's very difficult to do. So we're lucky, very lucky.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. And talking about the songwriting, is it going to be surrounding some particular concepts, or are you going to be diverse wherever it takes? You will just start writing it.
Yeah. Well, for this one, at least for the songs that we're writing now, the way I'm looking at it is for at least 6 or 7 months, I want all the songs to follow a particular story arc. Because the way I'm writing all of the songs is that I'm basing it off a character, and then the character has a backstory, and then his own motives. That makes it easier for me to kind of grab songs and emotions out of the blue and just incorporate it into that. But I think going forward, will probably the way I lyrically base the songs will will change, and we just have to see where that goes, because I know at least with the music, when we're in the production process, we have certain things that we kind of subliminally do to repeat, to kind of imply that this is all kind of part of the same set of songs, whether it's with a drum groove or a guitar riff, and that's for you guys to figure out,
Yeah, I guess like little Easter eggs, if you will.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, the 4 songs that we really put out is like, obviously the first kind of work that we put out isn't going to be a lot of stuff. Obviously, you hear about bands dropping 10 or 12 songs. We're not. There's no point for us to do that. I mean, 4 songs is already a lot for a band that really hasn't. That's just starting. And so we're using that music to shop, to build our audience and stuff like that. And bands put out singles here and there, but our first album will probably be, once we've really established a name for ourselves, and we're pretty confident of supporting it, because you have to be able to go out, you have to be able to play live and support an album when it comes out, and we don't want to waste our time doing something if we don't think that it's going to be supported well enough. So these 4 songs are really great. We've been adding in new songs to our set list too, that we're excited that will hopefully futurely be on an album. And we're excited to do that, but we're really focused on just these 4 songs right now, and we're glad people like it. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. And well, when is the plan to release this GP? Is it going to be sometime this year or early next year?
it's going to be this year. Like as I said, half the EP is already out. So the next 2 songs of the EP will come out probably sometime in November, December. And then that will be the complete EP. We would have already had a bunch of shows that we played, about 13 shows for this fall, which is great. And that gives us a good starting point as a band, and then from there we can take it and use that to just keep growing and growing and growing. But as you know, this stuff takes time. It's not anything that happens overnight, and you got to be patient with the process. We have to be patient with the process,
Yeah.
and just because obviously bands don't blow up overnight, so it takes time for sure.
True, true. So, talking about the EP, so it's going to be released digitally, or you're going to have some physical releases as well?
Are you gonna have physical releases like CDs?
Oh, that's a good question. We haven't given any thought to that. It's all going to be downloads and streaming.
Yeah, right now it's going to be all digital. It's just going to be on streaming. All the well, I mean,
All the classic,
yeah, like any platform you want, you can find it on. But that's probably an idea to say for a later date.
yeah, definitely. I know that vinyl is pretty good. People love collecting that. So I think for sure down the road when we come out with our first huge album, we'll definitely doing some physical distribution of that. But now everyone's on their phone nowadays, so and especially during no one buys CDs anymore. I mean, maybe a few people, and those people are cool. But everything is downloaded streaming. So we're on every platform that you can name. The first two songs are out on Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, whatever you name. So we're on it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you guys are on tour. So how has the support been so far?
Uh,
It's been good. It's been. I think everywhere that we play, we gain a few new fans, and I think that's the important part. Because especially the last show where we were just playing for hours and hours, and I would just do things like I'd have them jam, and then I'll just go around giving away T-shirts or just talking to people in the bar. Like we'll just so I think the most important thing that's going good with the tour is that every show we are getting more ears on the music, and we're gaining a few new fans every time we play, and I think that's setting up a pretty good foundation for what's to come next.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And what would be the dream for you guys?
Obviously, I think we all want to make music our living. And so I think, as a musician, you have to have multiple revenue streams. I mean, you got to be in a band. Noxigen here writes, produces music as well. So, and we do a whole bunch of different things. But as a band collectively, I think we'd like to take this thing, just keep growing, obviously, and to eventually be able to make this our job and do this for an extended period of time. And every band that you can name out there, they've done a lot of touring, and they've done a lot of things, but they also do different things as well. And as musicians individually, I think our goal is just to continue doing what we love musically and creatively. As a band, I think we definitely want to continue growing, building our audience, to continue getting recognition for new music. It's funny. I mean, it's not like the old days where there's a lot of record labels going out to shows anymore. They don't do that because everything's virtual, everything's on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So we've been doing things actually pretty old school by booking all these shows and getting our music out and that kind of thing. But we're looking forward. I think each individually, we're all talented, and the fact that we're here is just great. So I think eventually, sooner or later, we'll stumble around the right people and just continue doing what we love. So,
Awesome, awesome. And any great moments that you had over the years?
That's you, right? With the band,
any
the
any
fallout from the band,
any what was the question?
like any spotlight moments
Oh,
for High Street.
spotlight
Moments
moments.
for High Street.
Yeah, I mean,
Over the years.
well, yeah, I mean, with the first version of the band, we were doing so many different things, and like I said, I'm from Chicago. The band originated from Chicago, and so we played all around the Chicago club circuit. We opened for like some pretty serious 80s bands that are still around today. And we worked with the producer from Fall Out Boy and collaborated with him on an EP. And we did a lot of big things. And it was unfortunate that that kind of had to end because people went off to college and kind of just got disinterested because it was going on for 7 years at the time. And and I was getting kind of burnt out too. But I'm glad to say I try to look at it, just personally from everything that I've done and want to do, because it's tough to stay devoted and interested in a band for so long, because you naturally, as human beings, you just shift to other things. But yeah, I mean, we've done a lot. We're lucky to have that on our record. Just I think even now, just again playing live, doing all these shows, playing at great venues, like some really phenomenal venues that we played and been offered to come back and have a residency or something like that. I mean, it's just that's a huge accomplishment because that gives us room to just keep getting better and better as a band, which is ultimately what we want to do. So.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And guys, finally, what would you like to say for the people who are still not known about High Street, and what would be the message for the people?
Go listen to our music. Number one, if you like hard rock, if you like metal, if you like blues, go check it out. I mean, because we all come from different influences. Noxigen's from India. He has a huge Indian classical and jazz influence as well. And we write authentic, raw music. So if you're into that, and you're not into all the fake poppy stuff that's out there nowadays, go check out our stuff and stay posted. Follow us on social media. You can go to High Street Official on Instagram, Facebook. We are High Street, highstreetofficial.com, and stay posted on our tour dates and come out to some shows because it's gonna be great, and we love the energy. So.
Amazing. And guys, thank you so much for giving me the time today to speak to you. And it's been a real pleasure to talking to you guys. And thanks for making amazing music for the musical fraternity. Thank you so much for that. And you guys have a great evening out there.
Appreciate your time. All right. Thanks again. Talk soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.